Hi everybody and welcome this Monday, May 7th.
We thank you for watching Pro News 7. May 7th may seem like an odd day for a new law to start, but beginning today in Texas, you are required to show more types of identification before you can get a driver's license.
Tonight, Pro News 7's Kendall Lee Bates has more information about that law and the controversial act that may have been its motivation.
Under the new law, you must prove that you're a Texas resident and that you have lived here for at least 30 days to apply for a non-commercial driver license or ID card.
The biggest issue is the Real ID Act, which is a federal law that was enacted in 2005, passed both houses of Congress, which if you look closely were both controlled by Republicans, and was signed by the Republican President Bush.
The Real ID Act would turn driver licenses into national identification cards, complete with a chip that would let computers automatically pull up your biographic and biometric data.
Since we use our driver's licenses to get on airplanes, for example, to make sure that you are the person who's presenting that driver's license. But it's really an attempt to try to reduce terrorist threats by having sort of national standards for every state to have the same ID.
Roush says all of the 9/11 hijackers had driver licenses with different names and addresses, making them harder to track. The idea of the act is that problems like that can be avoided if all Americans had the same ID card. But it does have a negative side.
It's just a question of how much are state residents wanting to give up their state powers for a national power. And that's the whole issue behind the Real ID Act.
Roush added that many states have been resistant to a national ID card and to the federal government keeping track of them. Now that Texas is requiring more information before you get a driver's license or ID card, the state is one step closer to complying with the act.
If it's going to slow down the lines at the driver's license offices, then it's definitely much more negative. Positives would be there is a standardized process, a standardized what the card will look like, what information the card will have, no matter what state you're from.
Current deeds, mortgages, concealed handgun licenses, medical cards, W-2s, military documents, and school transcripts are among the forms of identification that can be used to apply for a Texas driver license or ID. Kendall Lee Bates, Pro News 7.
We can also tell you in some circumstances the requirements can be waived.
But if you have questions about the new laws, you can contact the Texas Department of Public Safety or visit our website, connectamarillo.com.